Hi, everyone. I am Rebecca Walker, and this is my oral presentation for week 3 on the capability approach and my presentation on its overall approach, certain key concepts, important insights on this approach, and just the background of it. And this is for our International Human Rights course with Dr. Vega. Okay. For my introduction, the capability approach is an overall framework that's used to help individuals focus on working towards a life they value and a life they're actually capable of achieving. So, in order for people to achieve this life and to be able to efficiently and successfully achieve what they want in life, they need to be able to have access to certain capabilities, certain opportunities, and by doing that, they need to have their individual freedoms without barriers. With the capability approach, it was started with Amartya Sen and Martha Nussbaum. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. They had developed this approach to help establish the overall real freedoms and opportunities that individuals would have in order to obtain a life that they value while also being given the basic freedom they're entitled to help obtain those achievements. Due to some people not having those basic freedoms, they're unable to achieve a life that they value or one that they deep down enjoy, or like they need to have those basic freedoms without any barriers in order to achieve a life that they value and have opportunities to do that. This approach overall shines a huge light and opens up a whole big discussion on what individuals can be or follow through with instead of what they simply have within their basic rights. So this is more of a focus of what are people capable of doing? What opportunities are they given with these freedoms in order to achieve a life that they value or achieve something that they deep down appreciate and value? My second slide is on the key concepts as seen in the rubric. I went ahead and discussed the capabilities and functionings, well-being, and social justice. So first off, for capabilities and functionings, this overall refers to how capabilities are the overall opportunities that individuals are given or able to access in order to achieve certain functionings. For example, functionings can be being healthy, having a job, or even doing normal everyday social activities such as going to the gym, being able to go out to eat, being able to go better themselves um, by working out, volunteering, whatever that may be. Capabilities, on the other hand, can be the opportunities or freedoms given in order to successfully reach the said functionings. So, for instance, with being healthy, that's a functioning that they're able to do, but in order to achieve that they need to have the opportunity. So having access to healthy foods, having access to attend gyms, or have access and economic stability to afford those foods in order to be healthy. And for having a job, having equal job opportunities, no discrimination, no anything present in the workforce. Sorry. Whew. Second is well-being. This approach focuses more on the success of reaching and achieving a life's individual's value and having a good value of life. Rather than focusing solely on monetary values and their success, instead it focuses on the freedoms they are given and their overall values and goals they would like to accomplish. So instead of focusing on how much money they're making or the economic status of where they're living or how much minimum wages, it's more focused on the freedoms that they're being given in order to successfully make money, in order to successfully move and buy a house one day, in order to successfully be happy with the life that they have within our society. Next is social justice. This concept helps broaden the overall importance of guaranteeing individuals their own freedoms in order to achieve their value of life. So by being aware, within this approach, it helps people be more aware of, okay, is everyone getting these individual freedoms? Because if not, then it's not equal opportunities. They're not being given the opportunities that everyone else is being given. So I feel like it's like the social justice part is being able to provide and equally give everyone the same opportunities and resources in order to be successful and in order to be able to obtain that value of life they're striving for. Um, Next is the overall evaluation of individuals' well-being. Within the rubric, it talked about the assessing freedoms, focusing on diversity, and identifying barriers. So first, with assessing freedoms, individuals pursuing and having certain capabilities, sorry, I'm really out of breath, are often influenced by many factors, such as constant changing social norms, cultural ways that might be put into place where they're living, and how their economic status is or their environment, which is how their environment is, which can limit or enhance their access to personal freedoms. So, say for instance, they live in a more poverty area, like say their living area is more filled with poverty and it's not as advanced as other places. Sometimes they don't have access to cars or public transportation, and that reduces their opportunities for work opportunities. They might have to walk to work. Some places won't hire them if they don't have reliable transportation. So assessing these freedoms is like getting a bigger picture of different different living conditions, different social norms, different ways people live, being open to knowing that not everyone is the same and everyone needs to have the same opportunities while also being able to provide individual freedoms. Second is focusing on diversity. With individuals, there is not a single individual that is just like another individual. God created us perfectly as we are. No one's the exact same. This means that everyone has different values of life, different wants and needs within their everyday lives, and overall different aspirations, which within the capabilities approach, they emphasize this factor and know that there needs to be adjustments for certain opportunities. Going deeper into this, that means being open and aware that no one's the same. Not everyone's going to fall under the same opportunities or have the same resources provided, and know that not everyone wants to be rich one day. Not everyone wants to have the best job. Some people are happy with being free, not being discriminated against within the workforce, being happy with who they're working around. And overall, it just focuses on, hey, not everyone's the same. We need to be more generalized with how we are giving individual freedoms, how we are providing for people within our society. Lastly, on this slide is identifying barriers. So by being able to identify barriers, there are many different barriers that can limit individuals within our society from achieving their value of life, whether that be discrimination against your color, your religion, your sex, gender, your love preferences. And also there's lack of access to education that can be a barrier. Not everyone has access to the best education, or let alone sometimes in other countries, in third world countries, they don't have access to education or they're not allowed to attend school. And even poverty being more prominent in certain areas. Like people have to be more aware that not everywhere is middle class, not everywhere is sunshine and rainbows. There's places that are struggling deep down, and not a lot of attention is being put onto this. So we have to realize that those barriers are a very real thing that can hinder people from having the same opportunities as those who have all these resources in order to obtain that. Therefore, within the approach, they plan and see the need for planned interventions to help prevent these from hindering individuals in their success. So within the capability approach, they had accounted for this and knew that, okay, there's barriers that affect people, there's barriers that don't affect people. And so we need to intervene more to be able to give the same and equal opportunities for those who even might be struggling or not have the same resources. Next on this side is the evaluation of social justice. So within the social justice, there were three parts. There was equity and inclusiveness, participatory justice, and responsiveness. To start out with equity and inclusiveness, in order for the approach to be effective, there is an overall need for there to be inclusivity for everyone, regardless of what, especially focusing on marginalized groups. Which will also help bring awareness to the everyday systematic inequalities that occur. This helps give everyone equal opportunities to achieve their goals while also being provided the same opportunities without barriers. by being able to shine a light on problems and things we don't like, we tend to push to the side and be like, oh, that's not actually happening, or these people aren't struggling that bad. By opening our eyes and seeing that sometimes not everyone is like given the same opportunities, not everyone has the same resources, not everyone is provided for the same. And we have to realize that once we realize that, we can help give everyone equal opportunities to achieve their goals and their values of life without having them being hindered with barriers. Next is participatory justice. With this, by having individuals more involved and given the opportunity to participate in decision-making processes, it helps foster a more just and inclusive society. So for this overall section or idea, it's basically having individuals within our society being more involved in decision-making regarding how they're able to carry out their value of life, how they're able to have access to these opportunities. By having people's voices heard, it helps them feel more included and makes them feel heard and seen and cared for. So by having this and having everyone be involved, it helps the overall movement of society and helps foster a more healthy and just society. Um, Lastly, on this side is responsiveness. So, with responsiveness, within the approach, it emphasizes and shines a light on how we must be responsive to constant changes within our society, which that could be social norms and individual needs, which are always differing and always different within each individual. And this overall helps keep our society efficient and helps keep capabilities and opportunities available to individuals. So, being by within this approach, they emphasized within social justice, it's very important to be responsive. So, in order to do that, you have to be aware of that our society is never the same, just as any individual. No individual stays the same. Sorry. We're constantly changing. We're constantly having different needs, different wants, different values, different goals. Like everything's constantly changing. And as like higher up and looking over social justice and providing these freedoms and opportunities, we have to be willing to change as society's changing, as individuals' needs and wants are changing. Because if we don't, we get stuck in the past. This creates toxic habits, creates a toxic environment where people don't feel heard, don't have equal opportunities, have barriers that are affecting them from reaching these opportunities and succeeding in life and wanting to carry out the value of life that they strive to have at the end of the day. And lastly is my conclusion. So to wrap everything up, I kind of put a short little thing here on the last slide. And within the capability approach, it overall, like the whole message within it is it prioritizes real freedoms over resource ownership. It provides significant insights into social justice and individuals' well-beings. The approach has significant policy implications in the form of promoting people's capabilities for a just society, helping it work more efficiently, helping provide for everyone regardless of where they are, how much money they make, all their needs, their wants. And the focus of this approach is on the overall realization of human freedom and dignity as the foundation of development processes, overall pushing for the satisfaction and understanding of individuals' needs and their aspirations to accomplish their value of life. So overall, within this approach, it's basically thinking within society and thinking about individuals of more than just monetary resources of, oh, they have a job or they're making income or they're given the opportunity to go apply for jobs, but deep down there's barriers that are happening every day. There's things holding certain people back from obtaining these goals that they're putting for themselves. And in some countries, they're well behind on what is being provided to individuals, what freedoms are being given to people. And I feel like within this approach, it puts a more like light shine down on the focus of having justice within our social system and focusing more on individuals' well-beings rather than, oh, we've provided this, they'll be fine, they'll figure it out. No, like we have to care more about humans as people and what freedoms are given in order to have a successful society, have a healthy society, have a society that's just, and there's like no injustices happening without realizing it. We have to be very aware that things change, there's barriers, constant needs and wants from individuals, constant differing goals. Like it's very important within this approach that they shined a light on this. And I feel like I thoroughly enjoyed researching more about it, and I hope you enjoyed my PowerPoint. And this slide includes all my references that I used. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Oop, I gotta figure out how to stop my recording.